Why avoidants are not your soulmate, it's just trauma bonding. They say love should feel like home. But what happens when home isn't warm? What happens when it's the same kind of cold, distant place you've been running from your whole life? If you've ever been drawn to someone avoidant, someone who pulls away when you get close, who shuts down instead of opening up, you might have mistaken them for a soulmate. You might have told yourself, we just have this intense connection, this magnetic pull. This must be destiny. But the truth is, what you're feeling may not be love at all. It may be something far more dangerous, something that doesn't heal you, it chains you. It's called a trauma bond. And avoidants are masters at creating it, even if they don't know they're doing it. Let's get real about why this happens. Trauma bonds are not about romance. They're about repetition. They are the emotional equivalent of muscle memory. Somewhere in your past, maybe in childhood, maybe in early relationships, you learned that love was unpredictable, that closeness was conditional, that sometimes the people you wanted most were the very ones who hurt or abandoned you. Your nervous system absorbed that lesson and stored it away as your blueprint for connection. Then along comes an avoidant. They are charming, mysterious, and self-contained. They give you just enough attention to feel seen, but never enough to feel safe. And suddenly, without realizing it, your body says, this feels familiar. This must be love. The early stage with an avoidant can feel intoxicating. That slow burn, that push-pull tension, it's like a drug. They open up in small, rare bursts, and those moments feel like gold. You crave them. You start chasing them. And here's the dangerous part. Intermittent reward is one of the most powerful psychological hooks there is. The avoidant gives you love in unpredictable doses, never too much, never too consistent. And it keeps you coming back for more, hoping the next hit will last longer. This is not soulmates. This is slot machine psychology. And it's exactly how trauma bonds are forged. One of the biggest signs you're in a trauma bond with an avoidant is how much pain you're willing to tolerate just to get back to the good moments. You might find yourself excusing their behavior, telling yourself they're just stressed, busy, or not good with emotions. You might lower your needs, silence your voice, and stretch your boundaries so they won't pull away. And when they do pull away, you panic. You feel desperate to fix things. You're not chasing harmony anymore. You're chasing relief from the anxiety they've triggered. This is how the bond deepens, not because the love is growing, but because the withdrawal is unbearable. Here's the kicker. Avoidants don't feel this dynamic in the same way you do. They are often deeply uncomfortable with intimacy because closeness feels unsafe to them. Their nervous system learned early on that being too vulnerable leads to pain, rejection, or loss of control. So when they feel someone getting too close, they retreat, not to hurt you, but to protect themselves. Unfortunately, that retreat activates your abandonment wounds, and your reaction, chasing, pleading, over-explaining, confirms their belief that intimacy is overwhelming, and round it goes. This is not love. This is a cycle. We call avoidance mysterious, hard to read, even deep, because they don't reveal themselves easily. But often the mystery is not depth, it's distance. And that distance is the fuel of the trauma bond. You spend more time imagining the person they could be than facing the person they actually are. You're in love with potential, not reality. And in that fantasy, you'll excuse the fact that you feel more anxious than secure, more lonely than connected. That's not the soulmate experience. A soulmate doesn't make you beg for basic emotional safety. Breaking a trauma bond with an avoidant is one of the hardest things you can do because your brain doesn't just miss them, it misses the dopamine spikes, the relief after the tension, the tiny scraps of affection that felt like proof you were loved. But here's what you need to know. Your body isn't addicted to them. It's addicted to the pattern. Once you understand that, you can start breaking the cycle. You can stop mistaking scarcity for specialness. You can stop romanticizing the emotional crumbs. You can start asking yourself, if I met them today, knowing what I know now, would I still choose them? The answer to that question is often the doorway to freedom. Some people stay locked in trauma bonds for years, waiting for the avoidant to wake up and love them fully. They believe loyalty will be rewarded, that suffering now will lead to joy later. But avoidants rarely change unless they actively seek healing, and many don't. That's not because they're evil. It's because facing intimacy fears feels like facing a storm they've been running from all their lives. If you keep waiting, you're not in a love story, you're in an endurance test. And your prize for winning is more the same. Real love doesn't feel like guessing games. It doesn't make you feel like you're too much one day and not enough the next. It doesn't require you to shrink, silence, or prove yourself. Real love is consistent. It's steady. It's a safe harbor, not a battlefield. The pull you feel toward an avoidant is not fate, it's familiarity. And familiarity is not the same as compatibility. If you mistake it for destiny, you'll keep repeating the same heartbreak in different bodies. Healing from a trauma bond means reteaching your nervous system what love feels like. It means building safety within yourself so you don't need chaos to feel alive. It means setting boundaries that don't bend every time fear creeps in. And most of all, it means grieving, not just the avoidant, but the fantasy version of them you fell for. That grief is hard, but it's also the first step toward finding a connection that doesn't drain you. And here's the truth. If you walk away from an avoidant, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you've finally chosen you. You've chosen your peace over their distance. You've chosen clarity over confusion. You've chosen a love story where you don't have to beg for a happy ending. And maybe that's the part no one tells you. Healing isn't about finding the right person to fix what's broken. It's about becoming the kind of person who will never again settle for broken love. If what I've shared today feels like it's speaking directly to your life, that's not an accident. There's a reason you clicked this video. There's a reason you stayed until the end. A part of you already knows you're not in a soulmate connection, you're in a cycle. And the longer you stay, the more it eats away at your sense of worth. But cycles can be broken. Patterns can be rewritten. And you are stronger than the part of you that thinks you have to stay. So as you close this video, I want you to remember this. Love is not meant to starve you. It's meant to nourish you. If you've been living on emotional crumbs, it's time to leave the table. Because somewhere out there, and more importantly, somewhere in here, is a version of love that is safe, steady, and real. You don't have to earn it, prove yourself for it, or fear losing it. That love will find you the moment you stop chasing the one that keeps running away. If this message resonated, subscribe for more conversations like this, because healing is a journey, and you don't have to walk it alone. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, give yourself permission to choose peace over pain. Your soulmate isn't the one who keeps you in chains. Your soulmate is the one who hands you the key. Sometimes that person is you.